we're filling our census documents in on Thursday Island because the census day in a few days, and we might be at sea. I wonder how a $1 lure performs. Well, useless, so I'm modifying it. We've got that much.
Oh, I can't fit it in.
We've got
so much. There
that
it is.
much under the keel.
Just heading over to Thursday Island to do a tour of the islands. We made it. We're going to find our tour bus now and go for a tour of the island. What is this? Lovely. They're gorgeous.
Well, this is the welcome photo everyone gets.
Oh, it's so nice.
We are on the bus, ready for the tour. You're the best seats in the bus, front left. It's going to be good.
You are in the southwestern side of the Torres Strait, the inner island group, the land of Kurrareg. The local language here is Kalalagoya. There are about 40 government departments on Thursday Island.
We're here at Green Hill, Thursday Island, at the fort that was built to protect Northern Australia from Russian invasion. Who would have thought, eh? But that's why it was all built. There's, from memory, I've been here a few times, there are 3 gun emplacements. Can't remember what calibre they were, what size bore, but it's pretty elaborate, sort of, as you'll see when we film some more. It's a fairly elaborate layout. It's fairly old. I'm trying to remember the year it was built, but you'll see later on when it was built, or Wendy will write it down there. Behind Wendy is where Nutshell is. You can just see the 2 masts over there. So we've come over this morning in Peanut, as you saw, and it was quite wet for me. Wendy seemed to stay dry, but I'm sure the trip home in 30 knots will be very wet. Anyway, let's go check this joint out, eh?
Right, let's go and try beer. What are you doing and where are we?
We're filling our census documents in on Thursday Island because the census day in a few days and we might be at sea. So just having a cup of tea while we're here.
Which is pretty nice.
It's not enough for me though. All done. Barcode through the window.
Another tick.
Next we're going to get our COVID vaccination shots because this is the only place in Australia where we can get them. We happen to be here.
Nearly there. Alright, here we go. How was that?
Painless. Let's go to Seisha.
Okay, let's go. What's happening, babe?
We're coming back into Seisha. We've got to pick up some parts tomorrow. So we're coming back over here and then we're heading off. Going to get over this bar. It's starting to get really shallow. Yeah. I just got to be aware of my surroundings for a minute. Hang on.
And then we're heading to Weipa. It's all over the place.
Who?
The meters thing.
Depth.
Yeah. My next project is to make covers for our water containers so they don't perish. So I've got to try and make some sort of pattern. Here we go. I'm using our old Spinnaker sock to make the pattern. And maybe make the cover. Haven't quite decided yet. It's not a bad fit already. It's going to be an easy job. I now have a pattern. I've got to put easing running stitches for that bit on all the four corners. I'll do a nice thick hem, so you just pop it over the top. And we just need one dart. There.
Not the dart?
That'll do the job.
Not the dart.
After a lot of mucking around, this is pretty much my final pattern piece. I just got to add a bit on each side here to allow for this dart. Because when you take the dart out, you get this little shape. Alright, I'm just going to cut it out now. Make one. What's this one?
This is that little trevally.
Okay. Oh, look at that. It's lovely. Is that a keeper?
A bit small. Just a little baby one. It'd be nice pan fried though. It'd make a nice breakfast. We haven't had breakfast yet. Hello, little fella.
Using dressmaking principles here, I've just folded the pattern piece in half, right sides together, and then I'm just going to add a bit extra here, put the dart in, and there we go. Looks a bit rough, but I think it's going to do the job. And that is what I ended up with. That's the top. It's a work in progress. I'll keep you posted. Getting a bit shallow.
No, we're right on the bar now. Should be alright.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, calculated 1 metre.
Well, let's see how good you are. So that's where we are. Went through there. Oh!
Oh, my calculations are out. Let's start getting deeper again.
Oh! I think it's good, babe.
Yeah, we've got that much.
Oh, I can't fit it in.
We've got
so much. There
that
it is.
much under the keel. So when you think of it like that, you think, wow, that's all separating us from Australia. It's incredible.
It is the 5th of August 2021 and we are leaving Seisha for the last time. Touch wood. We came back to pick up 2 more parcels that came up the Cape, which was good. Thanks, Greg.
And Woody.
And thanks, Woody, for that. And we are now heading south in the Gulf. That's correct, isn't it?
Just about to turn into the Gulf, yeah.
Yeah, we're making our way to Weipa. We had our first visor shots 2 days ago and we are well. No effects whatsoever, so we're pretty happy about that. And we have another booster, whatever you call it, second one in Weipa, so we're going to hang around Weipa for a couple of weeks. And then go across the Gulf.
Go see Mary?
Yeah, we're going to see Mary, who's been looking after us.
Yeah.
Getting post for us, and
I've got a supply of beer coming to Mary's
yes.
PO box, so because we're running low on beer making product.
Yeah. So that's nice. So we're going to have a bit of a look around Weipa, and it's pretty early, reasonably early. We left when the sun didn't come up, hasn't come up yet.
We were going to leave in about an hour. We're going to have a nice breakfast, but I got up at my usual 4:30, 4:45, and I'll come out here to have a quick look around, Dingo's breakfast, and next door's boat, this big monstrosity of a powerboat, was like inches away. And the same thing happened yesterday, and then he moved and just anchored too close twice in a row. And he was inches away, so I thought, oh well, we'll leave early. So I usually make Wendy a cup of tea in bed in the morning, and I had to be hurried up to come out and do the anchor for me. So we left earlier than anticipated. Actually, it's just starting to see the glimmers of the sun now, well, sunlight, and because this bar that we're crossing, we're at 0.8 now. If we had waited another hour, we would have been at 1.2, 1.3, which is a bit happier with. But anyway, we're hopefully get to our destination an hour earlier. Right, we're back to 1.2 metres now, which I'm always happier when it's over a metre under the keel. So yeah, heading down to Weipa. We should get there in 3 or 4 days. We could get there in one overnight sail, but who's in a hurry? And we're going down through the Endeavour Straits this morning. The Torres Strait region up here is a whole series of islands and shallow water and sandbanks. Just trying to look for this line, there it is. And sandbanks, and you've got two oceans, the Indian Ocean, or the Arafura Sea, part of the Indian Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific goes like that in one day, and the Indian goes like that in one day, right? So you've got these tides that are going like this. One's diurnal, one's semi-diurnal, and the water rushing in and out of this joint is just like this massive bellows of water. Best way to put it. It's just getting pumped from both directions, and the water turbulence and the currents through here are some of the most complex in the world. There are 2 places in the world where you have these uber complex tidal systems, and this is one of them up here. It's also a fairly major shipping route to get between Southeast Asia and Australia through past New Guinea and Torres Strait. So there's constant flow of ships just going past here, just constant. The other side of this island ahead of us, Prince of Wales Island. And so anyway, enough of that. So it's pretty complex waters around here, and shallows. So the Endeavour Strait, named by Lieutenant Cook on his first voyage, I think it was. I haven't read up about that well, but I'm in the spotlight.
Yeah, well, I can't see you very well.
So Lieutenant Cook, I think, named the Endeavour Strait. Anyway, it's named after his vessel, the Endeavour, and he picked a channel through all these shallows and islands, and I think the deepest it gets the whole way is 11 metres. So it's pretty complex. But luckily it's all charted these days. It's easy to follow. Stay in the white section on the chart, and you're fine. But you've got to time everything, because the current at the moment is just dragging us sideways. So I'm overcompensating for anything I'm heading to. And especially, it's just at the turn of the tide now, especially when we hit the challenging section of the Endeavour Straits, it will be at full flow. And luckily, as you can see by the moon, we're sort of in between eaves and springs. So we're in between the smallest part of the tide change and the highest part of the tide change during that 28-day cycle. But when we get there, it'll be flowing at 4, 5, 6 knots through some of those funnels of sandbars. So you've got to be with it. You can't be against it. And if you're sideways to it, it just drags you sideways. We like to sail everywhere, apart from through these shallows that we're going through at the moment, and there's no wind, it's too early. So yeah, you've got to time everything perfectly, and I've timed it pretty well perfectly so far. Since we left the Whitsundays, everything's been pretty good. Luckily, we have lots of resources these days and very accurate tide predictions. Anyway, that's enough waffle from me. We're nearly out of the shallows. We're in 2.8 now, and nearly past the last marker of this channel, coming into Seisha. From here, we're going to turn west. First real westing of the trip, apart from the little bit when we came around the tip. So we're going to be westing for most of the day, and until we're through the shallows of the Endeavour Strait, and then we're going to walk south. And there's a strong wind weather warning. Try saying that after a few sherbets. This today in the Gulf of Carpentaria, so hopefully we'll have a bit of wind. See ya. What else would you rather be doing, eh? Sailing along in the tropics at, what are we doing, 5.2 knots, the 12 knots of apparent breeze, beautiful coastline here, northern coastline of Australia, while you're varnishing your little drinks holder that you made. That sits there. Yeah, I don't think I can think of anything I'd rather be doing with a beautiful person.
Oh, that's nice. Can't wait to use it.
Yeah. Put our Bloody Marys in there.
Or at the moment, probably Virgin Marys.
Yeah. Can't wait till the whole boat's varnished.
What you got there, babe?
New purple meanie. The old lure was getting a bit raggedy Ann, but
we weren't catching much on that.
We won't catch much on him.
Oh, where is it? There it is.
Doesn't look very exciting, and that's what he should look like.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
give it a go.
Since we've got hundreds of these, I thought we'll pop on a purple meanie, because we're getting low on fish. Big job.
Very shallow here. Just over 3 meters of water.
And we can't see land. I can just see land. We're at the junction of two big bodies of water, the Arafura Sea and the Coral Sea. Well, we're really in the Arafura Sea, but this is where everything goes a bit haywire. So we're coming through just at the beginning of the flood tide, about an hour into the flood, and it's carrying us through nicely. We're in 3 meters of water, but we're just going, soon we'll be back into 8-10 meters. And then we'll turn and head south.
About to head off for the day on our sail to Weipa. We've got a couple more stops before we get to Weipa. It all depends on the wind. There's a strong wind warning, so it's going to be probably quite hairy today. Anyway, see how we go. Yeah. Very early. Notice that the headsail is lifting the track up there, look. That's strong. That track is thick and heavy. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about that. But at the moment, the headsail is now furled. I'm just going to move it.
Yeah. I bought this El Cheapo lure for $1 at like Kmart or somewhere. I thought, oh, I wonder how a $1 lure performs. Well, useless, so I'm modifying it. One day I'm going to grab my portable ice. I'm going to mount it to a block of wood that I can have up here.
We're going a little bit to port now.
She's going to need a bit of modification as we go, I think.
Yeah. So did it fix it?
Yeah, it's swimming dead straight now. Jiggling beautifully. And still down at about 3 metres.
Cool.
Now have a beer holder, drink holder. I'm just going to put it in my cup holder. One thing I noticed on a lot of boats, their cup holders weren't big enough to take a stubby cooler. Look at that. And if it's before 11 and after 9, it'll take a bottle of water. We have oversized cups because Wendy likes a big cup of tea, so I actually cut these holes big enough to take oversized cups as well.
I think we've got another fish. We managed to land one today.
Yeah, it's a fish.
Is it a fish?
Yeah. It's a little tuna.
Okay.
Oh, it's a yellowfish tuna. It's dinner.
On the copper, in your case on the copper, and you're saying, okay, I've made the copper soft, 5 millimetres across, but 9 millimetres across.
And it weighs?
You push that wire through a hole smaller than a wire.
5 kilos.
You do what it's cold. You call that cold draw.
Happy?
Because Glenn talked about the copper pods.